So this is a game we call Dueling Typewriters. We haven't played it in a while, so let's see how it goes. Keegan and I are going to be each an individual style of writing, like, you know, genres of novels.
Types.
And Sam and Adam are going to be our characters. So if I could get from the left side a genre for myself.
Horror.
I'm gonna go with horror.
And if I could get a genre from this side.
Self-help. Gangster. Barely. Self-help. Self-help.
Self-help.
So we are going to make for you a self-help horror novel. Chapter 1. It was a dark and stormy night, and Brad decided to get into his car. It was a Ford 2008 Focus. He was alone. He was driving to McDonald's. He thought, that's a safe place to go. McDonald's on a rainy night, I know the way. I know the drive-through route. I know my order number. They're not going to change it. McDonald's is safe.
Ding. Now, if you're new to being a serial killer, like James is, you might have a lot of questions. Firstly, where do I start? So James has a few options here. Does he want to be a serial killer who goes on a random rampage? Or does he want to find one person? Now, James likes the idea of that second route. He finds a man by the name of Brad. Now, James has scoped him out for a few weeks, as is referenced earlier in the text. And he's learned that he's going to his favorite spot at McDonald's for a false sense of security.
Brad pays his $5.88 exact quarters. Brad's used to routine in his life. As Brad waits at that second window where they always take a little extra time to make his fries not salty, he sees a shadow in the dark. Was it a shadow? Was it a thunderstorm cloud? Brad had some music blasting so he couldn't really hear the thunder. Brad felt safe. Brad is a fool. As the McDonald's man gives him his final order in the hot bag, he hears a clatter from outside his driver's window. He looks behind him to see nothing is there.
Ding. Now, James utilized a lot of aspects that we like in the serial killer textbook. First, shadows. Ooh. Next, James was sure to make storm sounds. Nothing scarier than a storm. And James was quick on his feet, something we always treasure in the serial killer textbook. Now, he needs to be a little lighter on his feet, but that's okay. James is still learning. Now, while Brad naively sits in his car to eat his McDonald's in the parking spot, James has a few options. Does he go right for the kill? Does he wait a little bit? Does he kill a few other people and scare Brad with those corpses? Who knows? I do. James decides he's a risk taker. He's going right for it. He approaches Brad with a menacing walk.
Ding! As Brad finishes the last of his few straws in his Ford Focus by himself, he sees a figure come out of the shadows. He hears a soft rapping and then a slight scraping on his window. The hairs on the back of Brad's neck stand on edge. Yet he does not fear. He's in a safe town. He's at McDonald's. Nothing bad can happen here. He thinks maybe it's a hungry soul. Maybe a...
Hey!
Brad is greedy. Brad rolls down his window to try and talk to the man. Silence. is just between the two of them. Brad timidly says, hello? As a strange darker, as the dark stranger says hello back, Brad feels a certain sense that he's known this man. He's seen this man before. Could it have been... No, it couldn't have been that thing that from last week where he thought he saw someone in the window of his shower.
Ding! Now James realizes he's been recognized. This could be a bad thing for a new serial killer. But James is a quick thinker. How does he use this to his advantage? He remembers when Brad first saw him and uses it against him.
I know you took that ballet class.
Uh-oh. Brad's scared now. James has a personal vendetta against him, or at least that's what Brad thinks.
It was one time because I thought tutus would be fun to wear. Once! I stopped going now to wear it in private, in my shower.
Brad has to lie quick on his feet. Brad knows that if anyone found out about the truth about the bodies in his backyard, they would never give him the rest. They would never give him the rest of the time that he needed to get out of jail. For Brad had a darker secret than this man had. Brad had murdered ballerinas. He had buried them in his backyard. And now, he wanted to murder more. He was going back to the tutu ballerina studio, stealing the tutus.
You got something to say?
Brad knew it was best not to say anything and just shut up.
Ding! What to do when you realize your murder victim is a murderer? Don't panic. Keep control of the situation. Where's your murder weapon, James? The knife you have strapped to your leg? Just for safekeeping. It's alright, he'll wait. There it is. Now, James, what you're going to want to do is make sure you carefully stab Brad without him stabbing you first. It's a fine balance to find, and you have to find it with practice.
Ding! Brad reaches for the gun that has been in the side of his passenger seat window underneath that old McDonald's bag. He reaches out and strikes it against the glass that he's also rolled up to keep this crazy man who's for some reason revealed a knife and realizes that Brad, he needs to fight him back on his own. There's a lot of coffee. Maybe this man's sick. Brad feels a sense of remorse, a sense of, wait, I can't hurt this injured man. I can hurt those ballerinas because they were really, really mean. But this guy didn't make fun of my dance lessons. This man just told me that he'd seen me. Maybe he liked my dance studio lessons. Maybe this man could be a friend. Or maybe not. Brad rolled down the window, extended an arm, maybe a peace offering of friendship. But then, the full moon rose.
Ding! Using your werewolf powers at the best time. Now, James was not able to use his knife because he was slowly transforming into an animal. They don't have opposable thumbs. But they have claws and teeth, which James will use to kill Brad. Uh-oh. He's blinded himself somehow. That's okay. Kill by sound, James. Wait for Brad to make a noise, and then pounce wildly.
Ding! Brad realizes that this intruder into his pleasant evening's plans had become a werewolf, and he realized that the best mode of option was stealth.
I'm in the car.
And blatant lying. Brad understood that if he ran away, maybe he could get back to his house in time to rebury those bodies, because he thinks that I think that the werewolf might know something.
I know something.
Brad Brad realizes that tonight won't be his, that he's not done killing. He's thankful that the drunk in the corner has moved the bottle away. Brad realizes that his murder spree isn't over. He promised Shelley he'd be done killing, but this werewolf needs to end his own life. Brad will do it for him. As Brad puts back on his murdering costume so that no one can really tell who he is. He masters his pirouette. It's a boost of confidence that Brad needs as he pulls out his silver bullets.
Ding! Now James will have to use what he learned in the textbook, fighting against silver bullets when you're blind. First, you will not be able to read the book. He's going to have to use his memory. Now James assumes the fighting stance is best he can remember it. Yeah, see that mean grimace on his face? Brad's scared now. Now James will get shot at least a few times before he realizes where Brad is. This is bad news for James. But, oh no. Oh. James slowly feels his chest where it feels wet.
Oh!
Now we learn this means blood. James is dying. What to do when you're dying? Bleed a lot. Cough. Cough a little more. Swear that your children will avenge you.
Barbara! Timmy, you both will avenge me!